Hi guys, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Mathematics here, and today I'm going to explain to you what makes a good card. So, let's see. What makes a good card? So, let's start off with a plus and a minus. Simple little theorem. So, there's a theory that I've came up with because, I'm a mathematician at Yu-Gi-Oh! Not at life yet. So, with the new ruling involved, as you know, the player that goes first gets 5 cards. Alright? And the second player that goes first gets 6 cards. So right now, this person has an advantage on their turn. This is the first player, first, second. Alright? So, sorry, let me darken that. So first and second. Now, we can see that 5 is greater than 6. That's common sense. So, what happens the third turn? They get a 6. The sixth person gets a 6. Right here. Alright? But what happens then? What happens to the sign? Well then, there's an equilibrium. 6 is equal to 6, obviously. So, I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Terms, right? This person has 6 cards, this person has six cards. Just on a drawing basis and assuming that none of them have cards like Pot of Greed that makes them +1. Well, we're going to get into that in a little bit. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all about an equilibrium, and that's why I'm glad that they went with the first and second person rule, because this person, the first person to play, they have 5 cards, but guess what? They get a set cards, and they get to mess up the second person's strategy and might even get a chance to like make them minus. Like the second person summons 2 cards from their hand, and then the first person activates Torrential Tribute, and now the second person's at a disadvantage in the first turn. In the second turn. Alright, this might not be making sense to many of you, but basically Yu-Gi-Oh's an equilibrium on how many cards. The theory is the more cards you have, the more likely you are to win, just because there's more stuff for you to do, more combos. There's more things you could draw into, you know? So that's why I like the rule of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because in the beginning, it used to be the first player gets 6 cards, and then the second player gets 5 cards, and then this person gets to set up their field, and then they get to mess up this person, which is already, let's see, the second turn is gonna be, they're gonna have 6 cards, but if this person messes up that person, then that means it's just gonna be like, like 3, whatever. Okay, so in layman's terms, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a balance of what cards you could get out, basically. So that's a simple Yu-Gi-Oh! Mathematics, that people draw cards, they destroy cards. Yeah, so until my next video, I'll explain a little bit more on what is a good card.